Behold the lightsaber of Cal Kestis.
Lies! Deceptions!
Hold on, I can fix this.
Let's see it.
So you just go like this, and then you're fine.
Every day, more lies.
Hey everyone, it's Zane. So a few months ago, I bought this MOC on Rebrickable, and as a fan of the Jedi game series, I was pretty excited to build this saber. But this looks more like a decrepit depiction akin to Cal saber when he goes to Illume, or as I affectionately call it, the wet noodle saber. You start with the base, which was the easiest and sturdiest part of the build, and I'm actually pretty happy with this part of the design. However, as you move on to the emitter and hilt, you run into a litany of issues, the main one being the grip. Here you can see my friend Hayate's attempt as he built this with me, but he opted to leave it as is. The mechanics of this are nearly impossible, so much so that I had to make my own adjustments to get the parts to clip together. I was pretty terrified of recording this video because I did not want to break it due to how fragile it is. You can see here that the plates aren't very secure and it doesn't take much for it to all start breaking down. Bruh. And I was surprised to see that I was able to get this shot of holding it, though it's tenuous at best. The emitter is a bit more stable, but because of the axle placement, the connection requires precision to get it to align. And as we saw earlier, it's pretty floppy due to the weight. And the pommel required some adjustments to get it to clip, but it looks fine. The way it's constructed, it's pretty clear to me that the designer did not test this build, but simply put it together in studio and published it.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous.
When I reached out to the designer to ask them if they had encountered a similar issue during their test of the build, they dodged the question and then provided a fix that did nothing to remedy the situation and then ghosted me. And look, I do not think that it was malicious on their part. I just think it was someone that didn't have any answers. And while doing this video, I found out that they actually took those instructions down, which is the right move to make because it's not a viable build. Sadly, it cost me over $50 to learn that lesson due to the nature of some of the older, harder to find technique pieces involved in the build. And that is my issue with Rebrickable, because there are a lot of great designs out there, but how can you trust the structural integrity of any of them? The instructions are the cheap part, but MOCs are expensive, and it's the ordering of parts that adds up very quickly. Going back to the build, I fortunately have a parts collection, so I was able to supplement those in while building. But even then, the connections across the board aren't secure or flush. As I said, there are some great designs out there. The sitcom modular comes to mind, but ultimately it's hard to dive in head first without doing ample research or seeing someone else build the design and getting feedback from them. But perhaps I'm just unlucky and this was a one-off terrible experience. So let me know in the comments if you've ever built a MOC from Rebrickable and if you were satisfied or not. That said, I did see this the other day and now I'm wondering if I should break this down and try again. But that's it for me. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Oh, that would have been so bad.